Alrighty, we are live out at Hooters on NASA 45. We are the Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Heisman, and I'm to my left or right, whichever way we're looking at. This is Brett Chansey. So we're excited to be here. Brett, go and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, we're from the area. I'm here from League City, and I've been podcasting here with Eric with the Locked On Network for a couple seasons now. And we have started this YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, go to YouTube, check out Locked On Astros. It is the only daily Astros podcast in the world. We are being broadcast all over the World Wide Web, so check us out. You can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter. And you can find Eric at Eric Talks Stros on Twitter, so follow us. And we'll be doing some giveaways today here at the restaurant. Some raffle tickets here. Signed a raffle ticket, come up here, fill it out, drop it in. Some Astros tickets, some Hooters tickets, some other giveaways that we have here just for y'all Astros fans.
All right, so now that we're a minute in, let's go do a little intro.
It's the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Heisman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chansey.
All right, so we got the game already started. One pitch, one out. Congratulations. Jose Altuve went for the first pitch and right to third baseman. So that's just how it goes.
No, yeah, here on Locked On Astros podcast, we like to keep y'all up to speed with everything going on. And over in Sugar Land today, Austin Pruitt is making a start and hopefully bringing him back soon right after the All-Star break. The Astros are continuing their torrid run on the entire League of Baseball, where they are leading in pretty much every facet of the game. Their pitching, Eric, I noticed, has gone from 29th to 23rd in the relief category. They are really starting to climb the charts as the relievers are starting to pick up steam.
Yeah, and I know that last time he started, it was kind of surprised. Nobody knew that he was even healthy because he was it just kind of coming out of nowhere. So this is a guy that they actually signed last year to kind of compete before the rotation, but unfortunately injuries kind of hit him hard, and now this guy is trying to make a little comeback. So hopefully we can do that. So guys listening live or anybody listening online, you can go ahead. If you go ahead and go to YouTube, you can ask us questions. You can just go to the chat and just ask questions, and we can go ahead and interact with you live. So that's the good thing about doing this live streaming is we can do this. So we got a 2-1 count to who is that?
Is Miles Straw.
Miles Straw, batting second tonight? Oh, I must have missed that. Setting up.
Well, I believe Dusty Baker, when he makes his lineup, I believe he rolls dice and he just picks numbers and he puts them in any order he wants because it just seems like there is no rhyme or reason to what he does, but it doesn't seem to matter where they are in the lineup. They are all doing their job hitting.
Yeah, so the Astros have actually not faced School before, so this is the first time the Astros have faced them. So we'll see how this goes. So Straw got a hit, so congratulations. So let's see if he can use his speed. One thing about Miles Straw is he is a speed guy, but he's got to learn how to run bases. And one thing about trying to get out into plays or anything like that is he tends to fall short and fall in dirt and play in dirt and build sandcastles and stuff like that.
He's not that bad. I don't know about that, but yes, he has actually improved on his last few stolen bases. He's swiped successfully. He's done a great job. And, he's one of those players that had a lot on his plate coming in. George Springer was the one that he is replacing, and that's a lot of pressure on him. One of the cool things, I don't know if you know this, Eric, it is Jordan Alvarez's birthday. So hopefully,
24.
Yeah, so hopefully.
I was 24 once.
I was 24 a long time ago.
Yeah. So I know, and the other day I believe that he was the youngest, first person in the first 150 games to reach 49 homers or something like that.
Well, yeah, no, he has for his young career, 150 games, he has 39 homers. That's the most in Houston Astros history. And he's also got over 100 RBIs. and he's just on a torrid run. And Yuli Gurriel's at the bat right now. That guy has become the Sultan of SWAT, if we could take that name from the Bambino, is just a phenomenal contact hitter, inside-out swing, looks confident to plate every time he gets up. And we'll talk later on, but we have several Astros that are in the second phase of All-Star voting.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit. So the Astros now have a 48-29 record, a 623 winning percentage, so that's pretty awesome. Who would have thought that, especially without Justin Verlander, that would be pretty cool. So I wouldn't have thought that they're 19 games above 500, and they have a 3-game lead over the Yankees. There's a one point where you would have thought that wouldn't have been the case because the A's. There you go, double play. The Astros get on base so much that they're tailor-made double play just because they get on base so much. A lot of people be like, oh yeah, they know what's coming. They got the trash cans, or they got the Band-Aids.
Right. Well, the other day we had Ben Verlander on the show, and we were talking about how the Astros are darned if they do and darned if they don't. And the Houston Astros, if they have success, it's because they're cheating. If they don't have success, it's because they're not cheating. And so they can't win for losing. But the Houston Astros are standing at a 48-29 record.
That's what it is.
Second. Yeah, I mean, they're the second best record behind the San Francisco Giants, who I think is a surprise this season in the National League. Over the National League West, you've got 3 powerhouses in one division, which you'd like to see that because they will beat up on each other in the playoffs. And I believe the Astros, when they do make it to the World Series, will face one of those 3 teams out of the West.
Yeah, so they're 16 in their last 19. They are 21 in their last 26 contests, and they are 41 and 19 since April 22nd. So they're pretty good.
Yeah, this is a historic run. This ball club, top to bottom, is definitely one of the best in all of baseball, probably for all of history of baseball. And with all of the talk about the sticky stuff, all the talk about the Astros, or not the Astros, the pitchers using spider tack to get more spin on the ball, the more that they're taking that away from them, the more the ball's going to be flying out of the park. And the Astros should really take advantage of that.
Yeah, so guys, we do have a raffle up here, so we are giving away some tickets, some Astros shirts and stuff. And so I know we got some tickets I just got yesterday from for Tuesday's games, and we got some tickets for Skeeters and some other tickets.
Yeah, so free tickets to the public, and we got so many jerseys. So if you haven't signed up for the raffle, come up here, sign up. If you're not here when you win and we draw your name, we'll give you a call. We'll get in touch with you. The tickets can be emailed. The shirts, I can ship them to y'all, no problem with that. But we just appreciate you listening. But come up and take part in the raffle because I guarantee it's a lot better chances than playing the lottery.
Yes. So Jake Rizzi is about to take the mound. So this is a guy the Astros signed late, and I know that he had a rough start to his Astros career, and he did not like the profit boxes. I did not take profits for once. So I know that he's been doing a lot better recently, and he had almost no hitter. He had, like 6 no-hit innings?
Yeah.
So, I was at church camp, but he had 6 no-hit innings, and it was a pretty good outing. So just going.
No, sir. It's free. Just take a ticket, write your name on one side, and then.
So first pitch was a strike. So we got Akil Badu. He's kind of cooled off since the start to the season. This was a Rule 5 draft for the Tigers. It's a guy that AJ Hinch thought was going to be the rookie year for Tigers. They kind of slowed down, and so did Mercedes for the White Sox. He kind of slowed down a little bit.
Well, the other day he was 3 for 5 in that win they had against the Astros to break that streak. He's still a very good hitter. He's a very good fielder. And nothing more you could ask out of a Rule 5 draft player than what Akil Badu has done. And, yesterday's pitching matchup, we had Casey Mize in that game 1 where the Astros lost. Casey Mize has had his way with the Houston Astros. And regardless, it looks like AJ Hinch is going to walk away this season winning more games against the Astros than losing. And this is one of the worst teams in the major leagues.
Well, doesn't he have the black book on the Astros? He's got all the little secrets and all that.
I'm pretty sure he's got the passcodes to every secret that Yordan Alvarez has. But Yordan Alvarez hit a home run last night. So he's not stopped. His power hasn't waned any. He's 24, a year older, and he's just getting stronger.
Yeah, so guys, make sure you guys subscribe to us on YouTube, and we're trying to get to 1,000. I think we're at like 5.
We're at 565 right now, so we're a little more than halfway. So go to YouTube, check us out, subscribe.
Locked On Astros, and we do a daily podcast. We normally do it after the game. Like if we're at the game, it may take a little bit longer for us to get back, but we try to do it like right after. And if it's a day game, we typically do it around 8:30. But we're here at Hooters on I-45, and so we're not on the freeway. That would be kind of weird.
Yeah, that'd be really dangerous if we were on the freeway.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have a hard hats to keep us safe out there. 45 is. I mean, right now we could commentate on 45 like we're at a NASCAR event because some cars are driving by like they're Fast and Furious 9, F9 or whatever that movie's called. But here, I want to tell you something since we're here at a restaurant. If you guys are about healthy eating, there is a great new thing called Wild Alaskan. We know that all you should be eating more fish and omega-3s and protein, but the seafood counter can be intimidating. Which fish tastes best, which cut to get. Well, if you're used to having a lot of choices when it comes to what you eat, but it matters where it comes from, get your nutrition from the nature. The Wild Alaskan Company sources wild-caught seafood from Alaska to Pacific Northwest. Choose from salmon, whitefish, a combination every month, different specials to explore. You can adjust, pause, or cancel your membership at any time. They offer 100% satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Get your nutrition from nature with Wild Alaskan. So here's the deal we have for y'all, our listeners. Right now, you can get $15 off your first box of premium seafood. Then you visit wildalaskancompany.com/MLB. That's wildalaskancompany.com/MLB for $15 off your first box. Go check them out. Let them know we sent you.
Robbie Grayson, this is the one that got away.
Well, I don't know if he's the one that got away, but he is the one that everybody thought wouldn't last in majors for a year. He's still up there. He's a decent major league ball player. He's a guy that you can buy low, and it's a low risk, high reward kind of player.
Yeah, so guys, those of y'all listening live, anybody wants to go on YouTube at Hooters, so there's a fly ball. And it's going to be, what is that?
I believe that's
Chazzy Fizzle.
Chazzy Fizz or the Chazmanian Devil, and there he is. Odorizzi's being checked for the sticky stuff.
Okay, so let's go and talk about that for a second.
Okay.
We'll take a break and next one. So let's talk a little bit about the checking for foreign substances. I know we've seen a couple of pictures flying out like that on this. So what's your whole take on this? Is this good for baseball, or is this something that's distracting for baseball? This is something that they've been doing for years.
Okay, so here's the thing. Full disclosure, I think every decision that Rob Manfred makes, like getting out of bed, is a bad decision because he's a horrible commissioner. I think that
just there are kids.
Oh, I know. I'm trust me. I'm keeping it G to PG. But here's the thing with the sticky substance: you don't change something like that mid-season. You know, players are using it across the league. 70 to 90% of the pitchers are using it. The guys that are competitors are using it. Each team has their own mixture of pine tar and sunscreen or whatever. Heck, Trevor Bauer is pretty much out of the league. I have labeled him the Jose Canseco of this sticky situation in baseball. He is the new controversial guy that likes to bring attention to himself and others, and now that he's the one getting caught. The Los Angeles Dodgers, or the Lost Again Dodgers, had the highest spin rate reduction of all Major League Baseball as a result of the sticky tack inspections. I think they should have done it at the beginning, Eric, or at the end, not during the middle of the season. I just think it's wrong. The hitters, Aaron Judge doesn't seem to mind cheating when it has to do with sticky stuff. He only cares when the trash cans and he feels like an MVP is robbed from him. So we know the stankies don't really matter much around here, but the bottom line is this: it is a sticky situation, and you know why they're doing this? They're doing this to disrupt the collective bargaining agreement going into 2022. Major League Baseball is pitting itself against the players, and they're trying to pit the players against themselves, to pit the players, the hitters, and the batters against each other, so there's division, because we all know the famous Lincoln line, a house divided cannot stand.
Well, we know, what's his Romo guy?
You talking about Romo, the relief pitcher for the Oakland A's.
It's Tony Romo, Romo.
No, not Tony Romo. That's the
Well,
That's that was the almost great quarterback for the
well,
Dallas
I
Cowboys.
understand. He pulled his pants down the other day.
Yeah,
so-
he dropped it. Yeah, he threw his belt off, dropped his pants. Yeah, these pitchers are gonna resist because I think it's ridiculous. The famous one was Max Scherzer when Joe Girardi called him after a strikeout and said there's something in his hair. He's rubbing his hair too much. Yeah, it's called hair gel, but I guess you can't wear that now. It's sweat. It's it's kind of a clown show, right? It really is. Major League Baseball does a terrible job promoting the game, and then they have this. And I agree with Bagwell. When you try to grow the game, you don't do these random checks. Or if you do it once or twice a game, don't allow a coach to say, "Hey, go out there and check that guy."
Well, Ken Rome just said on Twitter that they're going to randomly check him like every inning or every 3 months because he's takeovers. And I guess they're just suspecting that because all of a sudden he was giving up home runs, now he's all of a sudden good. They're going to be checking him.
Yeah, because no one can have natural success anymore. It's all got to be enhanced or something, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like a sponsor ad.
Something like that. But, so Jacob Rizzi, he's a guy the Astros signed for 2 years, and so he looks like he's coming around. And I know a lot of people are like, "Why did you sign him?" Well, at the time, we didn't know what Farmer Valdez was going to be, but I know that AJ Hinch kind of made a comment about him yesterday and said that, you know what, I like what I've seen from Valdez, and he said, you know what's happened? It's Strami. Strami has really kind of helped him become that good pitcher. And I'm trying to find it. Yeah, so he said that here it is. He said that he credits Brett Strom for the transforming Valdez into one of the best pitchers in the game. And Strami is one of the best, if not the best in the league. So I'm not surprised they've been able to hone in on him and make him become one of the best. He's able to get in the strike zone, and he's nasty. He doesn't get enough recognition, but he's going to put in some seasons now back to back that will get him some good attention.
No, yeah, definitely. I think Fred Valdez really did a 180 when he became less of a mind game on the mound. We just saw Carlos Correa up to bat, and that's something we need to talk about today. Carlos Correa should be in an Astros uniform for his entire career, but there are a lot of factors that are going to keep him from being signed.
Yankees fans they're already saying, why are we not going to sign Fred?
Because he's a cheating Astro. Why would the Yankees sign cheaters? Because they never cheat. They're above reproach. They're perfect. They haven't won a title in over 10 years, but you would think that they win a world championship every single season. Carlos Correa, I don't think fits well in New York. They've got plenty of infield prospects, infielders right now. I would see him. I don't know where he would go, but he would have to be to a contender because there's no way you go from a contender to a pretender just for the money.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I know there's 2 quick outs. I know Kyle Sprague got out, but I'm surprisingly when I went away for a week, he's in the top 4 in WAR. And he is quietly making himself a name for this big contract. I know they're going into this past offseason, Kyle Tucker got out, so the Astros are being no, they have 1 hit.
The Tigers are being blank right now. Yeah, we won't say it.
But I know going into the season, there are a lot of question marks surrounding Carlos Correa. You're not going to go out there and sign this guy. He has a bad history of staying healthy, and why are you going to give him what he wants? And he won at the time what was Altuve made.
Well, the reason he did not get that big contract is because he's been injured so much. That's his problem. His problem is, and he even said it in some recent comments in an interview. I don't know if it was with Chandler Room or who he was with, but he basically said for a long time, I didn't treat my body the way I should. I never stretched before games. I never stretched before anything. And I didn't care what I ate. I didn't watch what I ate. I didn't take care of my body. So that's why he was so injury prone. And he basically took notice of that. And Moses wants us to stream the game. No, that's technically illegal. You'll have to come up to Hooters and watch the game or watch it from the comfort of your home. Because we're up here at Hooters in Webster, over here off of Nassau Parkway. Come check us out. We'll be hanging out during the game. Live Locked on Astros podcast. First time ever. We want to thank Rosie for letting us come to the restaurant and hang out with them. Got a great atmosphere out here, great wings, great beer, all kinds of good stuff. So you have to come out, bring the whole family. It's a great place.
Yeah. So so it's been a slow game, but that's kind of how the games were yesterday. Both the games. I know the Tigers kind of had some. So they kind of got off to this quick starts, and the Astros kind of waited until yesterday. So let's talk a little bit about the offense yesterday for the Astros. It seemed like the Mother Nature was the only thing that would slow the Astros 11-game winning streak, and then it was flooding, kind of on a Houston style.
They had a massive flood, but Dusty Baker said something yesterday that made a lot of sense. He said they're tired. I mean, this is what, like the 15th day in a row of games, and that's a grind. You don't have a day off, and you're playing 15 games in a row. That is hard to keep up. These aren't all 20, 21-year-old players. These are aging players. We do have a pretty decently young core, but at the end of the day, you're going to have that. You're going to play down to your competition somewhat, and I think that's a little bit what happened, but you got to hand it to the Tigers pitchers. They've taken a team that strikes out the least, makes the contact the most in the league, and they've quieted their bats for the most part. And even when the Astros won yesterday in that second doubleheader, they didn't score a ton of runs.
Right. It took a Jordan Alvarez home run late in the game, and that was we were at Top Golf at that time, and we were about to leave, and we were like, let's just wait until that happened. And so we're just kind of standing there. We both jumped up, and we're like, that's awesome that it happened. And so then we have to leave because we told the kids to walk outside.
Right. No, yeah, exactly. No, that's, they have the power to do that at a moment's notice. They score a lot of runs in late innings. Carlos Correa's famous saying this year was, I feel sexy when I hit in the late innings. And, he hit that home run yesterday. And after Alvarez went back to back, and so maybe they'll create a bobblehead doll for that. I don't know, maybe if it wasn't at home, maybe not. But, Jaco Rizzi doing some good work, and it's probably some really good weather up there in Detroit. It's definitely not hot down here, feeling like it is the humidity, feeling like 1,000 degrees outside.
Yeah. So, guys, come up here and go and get a raffle ticket, and that way you can enter in for the drawing. We're going to raffle off some tickets, some of these Astros jerseys we have up here. And so go and do that while we're up here live streaming. We have Nomar Mazzara up. I know this is a former Texans Raider. This is a guy who was a thorn in our side when he was a Ranger. But I know that he's signed with the Tigers, and I know at the time this was kind of a head scratcher. Somebody the Astros could use, but at this time it's not that big of a deal. The Astros kind of have Chad McCormick now. Chad McCormick has kind of come out of nowhere and kind of become this. I mean, he's not an all-star. We'll talk about all-stars in a second, but he is somebody the Astros can count on to kind of be that guy who can come off the bench, who can fill in pretty good, and he's got that good defense. And we saw him make a great play yesterday in center field, and this was a guy. A lot of people said, "Well, can he really play center field?" And he showed that he can.
No, yeah, definitely. And I had a conversation with someone that's close to Miles Straw. I can't remember the source, but I was asking them. They basically talked to him on a regular basis. I said, "What is the competition like between Miles Straw and Chaz McCormick?" And they said, "You know what? They're basically feeding off each other. They both want to compete. They both want to be out there. And the days they're out there, they push each other. They both have the same sprint speed, so they kind of have like this inner competition to be faster than the other. The other day, when Miles Straw was a big part of that game, that those 3 runs, he was responsible for 2 of them. He had the solo home run, and then he had the double. Chaz McCormick scored from first to home. I don't know if you noticed this when he rounded third. We don't have Gary Pettis, the human windmill. We have the guy who does the stop runners at third, and Chaz McCormick put his head down and ignored the stop sign from the third base coach, and he went sliding into home, and that was a 3-2 win against the Baltimore Orioles. But McCormick is doing a great job with what he's been asked to do. Him and Miles Straw have filled in admirably for George Springer, and George Springer just hit a home run, so he now leads in the home runs between Straw and Springer. Straw now has only 2. Springer has 3 for the year. But, Springer's going to heat up and do his thing. He's finally playing. I hated seeing him injured to start the season. But say what you will, they may not be George Springer, but they're doing a heck of a job with the position that they've been put on.
Yeah. And with a guy like Shaw, you're not asking him to be a home run hitter. You're just asking him to get on base and use that speed to his best ability. And that's what he normally does when he gets on base. And so I know he had a good streak while I was gone. And he had that home run. And so they take away the sticky tack, and then all of a sudden he starts really kind of getting out there. So we'll see what happens. I don't think he is a long-term answer at center field. I think the long-term answer is Jose Siri at AAA with the Speeders, and so we'll see what happens with him. I know that he does strike out a lot, and he has the power, and he has the great defense. So
Siri's been kind of fixing that a little bit. I've been to a couple of Speeders games lately. I know you and I went to a game. But you also have Pedro Leon, you have Jerry Payne, you have Albert, the ultimate utility guy. And you got guys like J.J. Michevic as well in AAA. You've got several other outfielders, even Jake Myers, who's 25 out of Nebraska, who's been with the Astros, was drafted in 2017. So the Astros have a bottleneck issue of outfielders, and I think what you're seeing, Abraham Toro's become a solid player. He's a solid major leaguer. You've got some trade pieces, and you've got, if you want to go get a reliever before the trade deadline, you've got some guys that you could probably get rid of in a spot where you have more players than you need, and get someone back that's a serviceable relief pitcher to help out this bullpen. So, Eric, do we want to talk about the All-Stars right now? Because we're going to be starting phase 2 of the All-Star voting. They kind of change things up.
Sure. And we'll talk about Evan Toro because he's been kind of playing himself into a trade trip. So let's talk about the All-Star game.
Yeah, so the All-Star game, the All-Star voting, if you don't know, you can vote 5 times a day through phase 1. And if you, like me, if you're a nerd and you have like more than one email account, you can vote 10, 15, 20 times. Someone famous once said, vote early, vote often. And so Major League Baseball has this really flawed popularity contest called the All-Star game. But in phase 3, you had to be in the top 3 in a position or top 9 in the outfield. And so the Astros, pretty much in every position in the American League, have at least one player. Designated hitters, Yordan Alvarez is 3rd. Shohei Ohtani is crushing the vote and probably going to get that starting position hands down. For catching, Martin Maldonado slid up into 2nd place, which is huge. Yuli Gurriel at first for first base is in 2nd place. Jose Altuve is in 2nd place currently. Correa is 3rd at his position. Alex Bregman is 2nd. In the outfielders, we have Michael Brantley, the only Houston Astro that made it into the 2nd round. Kyle Tucker did not, which is understandable because of his injury. And I think a lot of people don't really know about him. But that's quite a few Astros being represented so far in the 2nd phase of All-Star.
Yeah, Kyle Tucker wasn't one of the trash can bangers, so nobody knows his name.
That's true. They only know him because of the controversy. That's interesting.
Right.
So, All-Stars. So, is there any chance, let's say Altuve or Uriel jumps into these guys? I know Ohtani is going to get that starting position hands down. Martin Maldonado, he could sneak up over Salvador Perez. I think that's a realistic chase. But I think
if you look at the stats of Salvi, he's been having a great year.
Yeah, he has been having a great year. But like I said, this is a glorified popularity contest. This is, if everybody thought you were the best looking kid in school, you got voted the best looking kid in school, even if you were up.
Yeah, but I don't think Maldonado should deserve to be an All-Star game.
Well, no, I didn't say he deserved. Keyword, I said, do you think he will jump? So I think him and Altuve have the best chance of jumping into the first place spot. I don't see the others. Correa is putting together a nice year. Bregman's going to be injured probably through the All-Star break anyway, so it doesn't matter whether he gets in or not. But I think Michael Brantley deserves to be a starter. Michael Brantley is quietly having an MVP type season. I mean, he is crushing it. He's leading in batting average, which I know some people say isn't a good stat to follow. But that's how you determine your batting champ,
Yeah, so I know Alvarez is up there in batting average. And most of the Astros have the good OPS and everything, but the Astros overall are just one of the best offensive teams in baseball. Their starting staff is kind of coming around. So overall, it just been pretty good. The bullpen is just been kind of. I guess we have a little birthday over there. Happy birthday! Happy birthday from the Locked On Astros crew. Yeah, so the Astros actually come up in home runs too. Happy birthday!
Now, don't sing the traditional happy birthday song. You too.
Okay. So the Astros were pretty low in the home run rates, but they're coming up pretty soon. So it's like the Giants and the Blue Jays are leading with 114 home runs, and then the Astros are kind of like third or fourth with 103. So that they've come up since last I checked. So actually, yeah, so that's not bad compared to where they were. Their total WAR, the Astros total WAR is 19.3. So that's pretty good. The next highest team is the Dodgers. Did they get no hit?
Yeah. The Dodgers got no hit by the Cubs, and the Cubs relief pitcher didn't even know it. Craig Kimbrell, when he came in tonight, didn't even know a no hitter was going on.
Oh.
And so, yeah, that was great. I love to see the Dodgers lose. I love that they think that their championship is so important that they talk more about 17 than they do 2020. I wonder if the flags on the trophy they gave them were shorter because it was only 60 games. You know, kind of like a Mickey Mouse trophy. You know.
Right. So, so I know the Giants are pretty up there as well. So the Oakland A's are still hanging around there too, but at the same time, they've kind of fallen behind the Astros as well. But overall, they're pretty good. They're still a good team as well. So.
Yeah. So I mean, to me, what gives this team its some of the most attractive things is its overall WAR, and like we talked about before, their strikeout percentage is extremely low. I mean, their contact rate is averaging about 85% across the board, and so they are killing it.
They've been at 18.6. It's just like the stat never moves. It's like 18.6% the whole time. The Jays are still there.
We went to 18.64 after that strikeout.
Come on, Jazzy.
So look at that right there. They're actually showing on the TV on the road in June. Alvarez has 15 hits, 13 runs, 19 RBIs. Uriel, 25 hits, 13 runs, 11 RBIs. And look at that, 21 hits for Correa, 15. This lineup is a scary lineup to face. And the thing you have to hand to the Tigers pitchers is they haven't seemed intimidated one bit by the Houston Astros. And I'm in the major leagues too, so they've gone out and they have really battled. And School is definitely one of the up and coming in the league. The Tigers in a couple of years will be contenders. I mean, they've got enough young talent where you're going to see them taking foot in their division, trying to climb the mountain.
Especially with AJ Hinton. I know that a lot of people probably will criticize him for his time with the Astros, not necessarily with with the good times, but kind of the way it all ended and how he couldn't control the locker room and everything. But I'm surprised where the Astros sit. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be, but with the way they sit with the pitching staff too, they're eighth in terms of ERA with the 3.56 ERA. And their overall WAR with their pitching staff is 11 with 7.7. So that still has something to be desired, but overall, it's not terrible.
But they moved up, and when they were on that torrid run where they were losing games, they couldn't hold a lead. They basically have turned that around. So every aspect of the game right now seems to be working for the Astros.
I hate to break it to you, but Jason Castro is not good out here. And there increases that strikeout right there. So,
surprisingly, the Astros had a hit.
Yeah.
They have one hit by Miles Straw. Miles Straw, the offensive juggernaut, hitting second.
Yeah. So, do you want to take a little break and then we'll come back and
let's do that.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to take a little break and we'll come back and